Good evening. Welcome to Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry. This is our Music Minute, a chance for us to look at our hymns that we'll be using in worship tomorrow and learn a little bit more about them. We are going to go in order today. So our gathering hymn tomorrow will be God of Grace and God of Glory. And the author actually wrote this while vacationing in Maine, and it was written for the opening of Riverside Church in New York City in 1930. October 1930. And it was seen as an urgent personal prayer by the author. And that author was a Baptist minister who taught homiletics at Union Seminary. And the tune was not originally what the author had intended. He had actually intended for it to be Regent Square, which is Angels from the Realms of Glory, if you're familiar with that. But he agreed that this tune was actually better. So that's what stuck. And so we're going to go ahead and hear God of Grace and God of Glory. I bet it's a tune you recognize, and I hope you enjoy it. So, maybe you recognize that. We are now going to turn to the hymn of the day, and the hymn of the day comes from All Creation Sings, so it's another new one to us. And this hymn is coming from Pablo Sosa, and his vision, the hymn is Make This Church Be Like a Tree. And his vision in this hymn is likening the church to a tree planted by a river of life. And that's from Revelation. So the vision need not be a distant one, though, and he shows that in the words. God can make the church be like the tree of a childhood home. It can be comforting, it can be welcoming, it can be reassuring. And the third stanza, particularly of this hymn, asks God to mold us into a church that gives freely of all its fruit, all its shade, and all of its wood and materials for the sake of others. This is a bolero, which is a Spanish ballad. And a soloist may sing the stanzas of this. That'll be the choirs for us tomorrow in person worship. And the assembly will sing the refrain, and the refrain goes a little bit faster than does the verse. So we'll figure that out. And this comes from an Argentinian Methodist pastor. He was also a composer, an editor, teacher, and he was very influential in theology, worship, and the church's song. So this is May This Church Be Like a Tree. Feel the lilting ballad nature of that. So hopefully you'll enjoy singing it tomorrow, either online or in person. And last but not least is Go My Children with My Blessing. And this is actually based on a benediction, so fitting that we would end with this evening. It's a benediction from the book of Numbers, chapter 6. And this is a more modern hymn, having been written in 1983. The melody is simple, it's meditative, and it's pretty easy for our congregation to sing, so we like that. The tune was originally set for harp, not piano or organ, so that makes it a little more interesting. But here we have Go My Children with My Blessing. very pretty melody. And I hope you all enjoy singing it. Thanks for joining us this evening. Hopefully you learned something. And if you're joining us tomorrow in person, our services will be at 8:30 and 11 tomorrow. And if you're coming online, that's at 11 o'clock. We'll be live streaming that second service at 11. That's on our YouTube channel. So thanks again for joining us. Have a great evening.